Hey Street Fighter fans, so I'm bringing up this video. I haven't put one up for a while because Season 6 is out with Dan, and I thought I would just get some of my old trials done that I have not done in a while. So I dusted off the fight stick and I thought I'd get back to playing a little bit and try to finish these up. So as you can see, I got Lucia, Seth, and then Dan in Season 6. That's all that's left. But when I came across Poison, I had a hard time. I spent about 2 days, maybe 6 hours practicing this one, so it took quite a while. So I thought, you know what, now's a good time to make a video. So Trial 2 was the one that I was struggling with, but it was fun. I don't use Poison, and I'm not familiar with any of her moves, so this was a big time learning for me, especially well, just like any character really that I don't play with. When I do their trials, I don't know how they move, how they work, any of their moves. So if you're not familiar with Poison, I'm going to help do a little walkthrough on the best way to practice Trial 2 for Season 5. So as usual, I switch over to the commands, and so I can actually see, because I don't know the names of the moves at all. So basically, don't start. I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. So the first one to really practice is where she cancels her hard punch. So let's go through the demonstration, and you'll see the cancel. Most of it's pretty straightforward, except for that cancel area. I had a hard time with this. If you know Poison, if you're really good with your inputs, maybe you probably walked right through this one. But since I'm only like a Super Bronze casual player, I had a trouble with it. So hopefully this will help some people that just want to get through the trials and don't want to master Poison or whatever. So hopefully this will just help. So here's the demonstration, and if you just watch closely, you'll see her cancel where she pulls her whip back after the standing hard punch. So that's a pretty nice looking corner combo. Like anybody that could do that in real life, like wow, my hat's off to you, because that just looks cool and pretty devastating too by the looks of it. So instead of going into my V trigger and doing the jump thing, this is how I'm going to break it down for you. So start practicing this one with the standing hard punch, the cancel with the hold button with the kick, and the standing medium. Just those 3. You don't need to be in V trigger to do that part of the combo at all. It doesn't do anything, doesn't change any moves or anything like that. So basically you'll notice when you hit the hard punch, Ryu really reels back for a long time. So he's got quite the recoil on there. It takes a while for him to come back into ready frame. So with the hard punch, it gives you lots of time for that cancel and to hold that kick button. Like it says, hold the button. And what that does is it stops her from basically doing the anti-air whip. So here's the trick I learned. As soon as you hit him, start the quarter circle back, but don't let go of the hard punch button quite. Don't hit it. Don't let go of it immediately. Hold onto it for just a little bit longer than you normally, almost so that you're trying to get that anti-air out with just one input of the punch button. So if you play other Shoto fighters, you'll know that sometimes, like, just by holding the button down, completing like a quarter circle or whatever move it is you're trying to do, and you let it go at the right time, it'll almost be like a 2-in-1. So even though your controller's moving, your button input's only been the one time. Because when you release the button, it counts as a release, or it counts as an extra input sometimes. So if you're really good, I'm not really good at it, so the timing is a little weird. So that's what you want to do. You want to try to get her to do that little move there where she does the anti-air. So you want to get the timing right. So you want to hold the hard punch button down till about the end of the quarter circle. That way you're doing that. So that's a good start. Just get that timing down. So you're holding the punch button down and not releasing it till you're at the end of the quarter circle. So that's what you want to do. So that's the first part of learning this one. So the next step is to get that kick button in there. Now I'm using medium kick. So I'm using medium kick because it's right below on my fight stick, right below the standing medium punch. So it's just easier for my fingers to move that way. So when you get that down, that little move down there, where you're going over. Now what you do is at the end of her whip like going towards Ryu's feet, hold your kick button, whatever one you might want to use, and you'll see now that she'll cancel. Sorry, I'm obviously not great at it, but I am trying to get the motion. I did that one time. There it is. If you see, she'll get that cancel in there. And that's, so the trick is hold the hard punch button down till you finish the quarter circle. So, but as the whip's down to his foot, then you flip over, you move over to the kick button. Sorry, I'm doing my best to explain it. Oh, see, now I did the wrong time there because I'm using the medium. I ended up doing her overhead. So then as soon as you have to hold that kick button down just long enough for her to bring that whip back in. And then, as you see, Ryu's still reeling quite a bit even after the whip's done. You have enough time to get that medium punch in if you time it just right. So as you see there, I could do it a little bit. I could do it about every three out of 5 times, 3 out of 6 times. When you can do that, about 3, maybe 5 times out of 10, maybe you can do it 10 times out of 10 if you're really good, if you just got the talent. But once you get that part, the next step is to add in that EX kick. Just add that in as you can. So just practice that part. So you're just adding in one step at a time. So once you can do that, you know, the majority of the time when you're feeling comfortable with that, then you want to add in her little V skill. So if you also want to, this is something else I like to do too. So once I've sort of got the cancel down to the EX, I broke it down into the next section, which was going from the EX to the rest of the combination, which is relatively easy. So what I would do is I would just go into the V trigger, do this, and then I would just practice and practice until, so while you're still in V trigger, you can just practice the last five moves till you can get that. So once and then you can put it all together possibly at the end as best you can. So the one trick I will show you is the medium, her whip. You want to make sure you're not throwing out the Molotov cocktail until the second whip. That just keeps him in the air long enough so you can get that EX the EX whip out. So for the second part, what I'd practice once I felt comfortable with the canceling would be the second half of the combo, just practicing that motion. It's pretty straightforward. So there's the second part, and that's pretty straightforward. If you're even decently good at the game, then that's not too hard to learn that. It only takes a few minutes. So once you're feeling comfortable with the bottom half of everything from the standing hard punch down to the final EX whip, I started trying to add in the jump. So the jump, I found the timing to the hard punch was a little bit weird. I think you want to sort of be deep. A little bit deep, like not on the very top of his head, but just at least at the neck or chest area, I found was the best. So you're gonna mess it up a bunch of times, as I did. So just practice the jump, add it in. I don't jump from back. I just find that wasted a lot of time. I just found it wasted a lot of time walking back every time. So you can do this whole combo just standing right here. So I found with the jump, after the kick, you almost want to start that quarter circle back almost before you're hitting the punch button. Almost before. So what's happening here? What's happening here is that if that anti-air comes out, I'm not holding the kick button to cancel down long enough. So you have to make sure you're holding that kick button down long enough to cancel. If the anti-air comes out, that means you've got the timing right for the punch, but you're not holding the kick button down long enough. So now, here's where we're going to try to add in. We're going to start attempting to do the complete combo. Now, the trick with this is, just to keep your practice and your rhythm up, after you V-trigger, and if you mess up doing the combo, just keep practicing while your V-trigger runs out. Basically, because why not? Because at that point, you'll have your V-trigger out, and you can just keep practicing the motions to do the rest of the combo, except for that very first V-trigger. And hopefully, during one of those times, you'll get it and nail it right, which is pretty much how I did it. It was complete luck that it was just at the start when I'd restarted the V-trigger at the very beginning that I actually ran through the whole combo. But that was how I put it all. Like, I put everything together by breaking it down like that. And because I wasn't planning on mastering the move, it didn't really matter to me if I got it. I just needed to get it once. So yeah, once you fail it, just keep doing the rest of it. So as you see, because your V-trigger's out, you could just keep practicing everything after the very first V-trigger. And then, hopefully, like I said, you can either you'll get good enough at it with the muscle memory to be able to complete the whole thing, or you'll just luck out like I did and get it on one of the times when you restart that V-trigger. And so once you're comfortable with, you're thinking you're getting 60% of the time everything from the V-trigger down, then you can start doing the restarts. So V-trigger. So if you fail it, just restart and then try again, just so you could try to get it on that first try. And then that's pretty much my walkthrough. So it's how I learned how to do this one, and it was really tricky, and it took me a long time to practice it because I'm not used to the motions. But hopefully this helps somebody out there. I had to edit like a bunch of videos because it took me forever just to do this a second time just for this video. So it's gonna be a lot of cuts in it, but I hope it's really helpful for anybody that is just trying to get through these trials. And so feel free to comment. You can also make requests on maybe someone else you might be struggling with, because I have gotten most of them done. But otherwise, good luck, and yeah, please give me a like, comment. I'm always feel free to comment back whenever I can. And yeah, have fun. Good luck.